Hello guys, welcome back to our channel today. We are back with another significant history of World War II. In this thought-provoking YouTube video, we will delve into the epic tale of nations clashing, heroes emerging, and the world forever transformed. Join us as we unravel the compelling narratives, untold stories, and pivotal moments that shape the course of global events during this turbulent period. Prepare to be enlightened, inspired, and deeply moved as we explore the triumphs and tragedies that define World War II. Get ready to embark on an unforgettable exploration of courage, sacrifice, and the indomitable human spirit. Without further review, let's get started. World War II, spanning from 1939 to 1945, was a global conflict of unprecedented scale and devastation, involving the majority of the world's nations. Its origins can be traced back to a complex interplay of political, economic, and ideological factors that had been simmering since the aftermath of World War. The Treaty of Versailles, which ended World War I, imposed harsh reparations and territorial losses on Germany, creating a sense of humiliation and resentment that laid the groundwork for future conflict. During the 1930s, a wave of aggressive expansionism and militarism emerged, primarily driven by totalitarian regimes in Germany, Italy, and Japan. Adolf Hitler's rise to power in Germany, under the banner of National Socialism, aimed to overturn the Treaty of Versailles and establish German dominance in Europe. His expansionist policies, coupled with fervent nationalism and anti-Semitic ideology, led to the annexation of Austria and the invasion of Czechoslovakia. Meanwhile, in Asia, Japan sought to establish itself as a dominant power in the Pacific region through territorial conquests and imperial ambitions. The invasion of Manchuria in 1931 and subsequent conflicts escalated tensions between Japan and its neighbors. The League of Nations, established after World War I to promote international cooperation and prevent future conflicts, failed to effectively address these aggressive moves. Appeasement policies, primarily practiced by Western democracies, aimed to avoid confrontation by making concessions to expansionist powers. This approach further emboldened aggressors and failed to prevent the escalation towards war. The trigger for full-scale war came in September 1939 when Germany, led by Hitler, invaded Poland. This blatant act of aggression prompted Britain and France to declare war on Germany, marking the official beginning of World War II in Europe. The conflict quickly spread across the globe as other nations joined the fray, including the Soviet Union, which initially signed a non-aggression pact with Germany, but later entered the war as well. World War II was characterized by a series of military campaigns, battles, and atrocities on an unprecedented scale. The Holocaust, in which 6 million Jews and millions of others were systematically murdered by the Nazi regime, stands as one of the darkest chapters in human history. The war saw the use of innovative and destructive technologies, including aerial bombing raids, tanks, and, most notably, the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. The war finally came to an end in 1945, with the unconditional surrender of Germany and Japan. The devastation caused by the conflict, along with the loss of millions of lives, prompted a collective global effort to establish institutions like the United Nations to prevent future conflicts and promote international cooperation. In summary, World War II emerged from a combination of factors including the unresolved tensions of World War I, aggressive expansionism of totalitarian regimes, ineffective diplomacy, and the failure of appeasement policies. It was a cataclysmic event that reshaped the geopolitical landscape and left an indelible mark on the course of human history. World War II, one of the most significant and devastating conflicts in human history, involved a complex web of alliances, rivalries, and geopolitical factors that led to the participation of numerous countries on different sides. The war originated in Europe, but quickly spread to other regions, resulting in a truly global conflict. The major participants in World War II were divided into two main alliances: the Axis powers and the Allied powers. The Axis powers were primarily led by Nazi Germany, under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, along with its key partners Italy and Japan. Germany's aggressive expansionist policies, coupled with the militaristic ambitions of Italy's fascist regime under Benito Mussolini and Japan's imperialistic aspirations, culminated in the formation of the Axis powers. These countries sought to expand their territories, control resources, and establish dominance over their respective regions on the other side. The Allied powers were a diverse coalition of nations determined to counter the Axis aggression and halt the spread of totalitarian ideologies. The principal members of the Allied powers were the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, and the United States. The UK, led by Prime Minister Winston Churchill, displayed unwavering resolve against Nazi Germany's advances, inspiring the resistance efforts of occupied nations across Europe. The Soviet Union, led by Joseph Stalin, faced the brunt of Germany's onslaught on the Eastern Front, ultimately playing a pivotal role in the defeat of the Axis powers. The United States, after at first taking on a strategy of lack of bias, entered the conflict following the Japanese assault on Pearl Harbor in 1941. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's invitation to battle aroused the country, and the US turned into a significant power in the united battle against the Axis. In expansion to these significant powers, numerous different nations joined the contention, conforming to either the hub or the unified powers in view of different factors like geographic vicinity, political philosophies, and key interests. France, which had been overwhelmed by Nazi Germany from the get-go in the conflict, in the end turned out to be essential for the united exertion after its freedom. Nations like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, China, and a few others additionally assumed critical parts as individuals from the partners. In the interim, countries like Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Finland, and others agreed with the hub powers, frequently because of political tensions, regional aspirations, or philosophical feelings. World War II impact extended far beyond the boundaries of the participating nations. The war's aftermath reshaped the global geopolitical landscape, led to the establishment of international organizations like the United Nations, and prompted widespread discussions on human rights, self-determination, and the prevention of future conflicts. The lessons learned from the war continue to influence international relations and shape the course of history to this day. The decision by the United States to drop atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II was influenced by a combination of factors rather than a single mistake made by Japan. While it's true that Japan's aggressive expansionist policies, militarism, and involvement in the war contributed to the overall context, the decision to use atomic bombs was driven by a complex mix of strategic, military, and political considerations. Additionally, the Allied powers, led by the United States, were aware of the potential for a long and costly ground invasion of Japan. Military estimates suggested that such an invasion could result in hundreds of thousands of casualties on both sides, making the use of atomic bombs seem like a way to hasten Japan's surrender and bring an end to the war more quickly. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II caused extensive financial, human, and infrastructural damage, as well as leaving a lasting impact on the affected regions. The immediate devastation from the atomic explosions was catastrophic in Hiroshima. The atomic bomb, codenamed Little Boy, detonated on August 6, 1945, over the city's centre. The blast destroyed approximately 5 square miles of the city, reducing most buildings to rubble and causing fires that raged across the urban area. An estimated 140,000 people died either immediately or in the months following the explosion due to injuries and radiation exposure. 3 days later, on August 9, 1945, the atomic bomb Fat Man was dropped over Nagasaki. The bomb detonated near the city's industrial valley, causing widespread destruction. About 60% of the city was destroyed, resulting in an estimated 70,000 deaths by the end of 1945. The immediate radius of destruction caused by the atomic blasts was several miles, with buildings flattened, infrastructure obliterated, and the landscape altered dramatically. However, the effects of the bombings extended far beyond the immediate blast zones due to the release of radioactive materials. These materials caused significant contamination, leading to long-term health issues, birth defects, and environmental damage. Financially, the cost of rebuilding both cities was immense. The process of rebuilding infrastructure, homes and industries was a daunting challenge for Japan's already strained economy in the post-war period. In terms of the spread of the aftermath, the immediate impact of the explosions caused widespread destruction in the cities and the surrounding areas. The release of radioactive materials created a black rain that carried fallout over a wider region, causing additional contamination and health hazards. In summary, The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki caused immense financial, human, and environmental damage. The immediate destruction of the cities and the subsequent health effects of radiation exposure had a profound and lasting impact on the affected areas and the world at large. The tragic events of August 1945 underscored the devastating potential of nuclear weapons and continue to serve as a somber reminder of the consequences of warfare in the nuclear age. We've delved deep into the pages of history, tracing the incredible highs and heart-wrenching lows of this monumental conflict that shaped the very course of our world. From the dramatic rise of global powers to the harrowing battles that echoed it across continents, we've witnessed the indomitable human spirit in the face of adversity. But remember, history isn't just a distant memory. It's a mirror reflecting our past, present, and future. As we bid adieu to our whirlwind tour, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay tuned for more enlightening journeys through time. Until next time.
To change your